I said, I would scatter them into corners. I would make the remembrance of them to cease from among men.
Shalom, Mashpaka. I'm going to be covering identity again today because I've been doing some research and come to find out that there has been a particular doctrine that's been going on for a minute, and I'm going to cover the information. So first of all, let me go ahead and go to the Book of Wisdom, chapter 2, the Wisdom according to Solomon, after I get done reading Deuteronomy. Let me go ahead and put it up on your screen for you. So let me go ahead and go to Deuteronomy chapter 26 so we can get precept upon precept, here a little, there a little. So look at this right here. Messiah said, I said in Deuteronomy, this is Deuteronomy chapter 32, begin at verse 25. It says, the sword without and terror within shall destroy both the young man and the virgin, the suckling also with the man of gray hairs. I said, I will scatter them into corners. I would make the remembrance of them to cease from among men. All right. Now let's go to this precept over here on this side. This right here is the Psalm of Solomon, chapter 2. All right. Excuse me. Now, this is how you know when a nation is dead. Listen to this. Listen to this. Hold on. Every time I go live, I have a belch. But anyway, for we are born at all adventure, and we shall be hereafter as though we had never been. For the breath in our nostrils is as smoke, and a little spark in the moving of our heart, which being extinguished, our body shall be turned into ashes, and our spirit shall vanish as the soft air, and our name shall be forgotten in time. This is what happened when your nation is dead. And our name shall be forgotten in time, and no man shall have our works in remembrance. And no man shall have our works in remembrance. And our life shall pass away as the trace of a cloud, and shall be dispersed as a mist. See that? Dispersed as a mist that is driven away with the beams of the sun, and overcome with the heat thereof. For our time is a very shadow that passes away, and after our end there is no returning. For it is fast sealed, so that no man cometh again. See, this is what it means to be a dead person. And I'm going to show you this is what it means to be a dead nation. So let's go back over here to Deuteronomy chapter 32. Go back down to verse 36. This is what Yahweh says about Yasharal. I said, I will scatter them in the corners. Remember how the dust scatters in the corners? I would make the remembrance of them to cease from among men. Let's click back over here again. Verse 4 of the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2. And our name shall be forgotten in time, and no man shall have our works in remembrance. And our life shall pass away as the trace of a cloud, and shall be dispersed as a mist that is driven away with the beams of the sun, and overcome with the heat thereof. So y'all see that right there. Now, anytime we ask people, or when we were studying our name, I remember seeing Christians would get inside of groups and they would say how to save a Hebrew Israelite out of their coat. Let us go to what they call us, black Hebrew Israelites. Alright? Black is adjective noun. Okay? Let me click on this.
Adjective.
A word belonging to one of the major form classes in any of numerous languages, and typically serving as a modifier of a noun to denote a quality of a thing named. Thing named. A dead thing. A stone can be it can use the color on adjective noun on the stone to indicate its quantity or extent, or to specify a thing as distinct from something else. So when they keep calling us Black Americans or Black Africans or Black Europeans or Black Caribbean Islanders or Afro, when they keep calling us these things, calling us objective nouns and things, so we see a problem unless you somebody that want to stay dead, or to specify a thing as a distinct from something else. What is the opposite of black in America? White. Who separated the races by their colors? Blumenbach. So if you hold fast to the doctrine of Blumenbach and evolution, then Darwin and Blumenbach is your father. That's your daddy. The word red in the red car is an adjective. See, a car can be called a thing. Property cannot own property because property is a thing. That's why when they wrote the 14th Amendment, our ancestors was not thought about in the 14th Amendment, because you calling yourself a thing and you calling yourself Africa, but inside of Africa, there's 50 something countries over there. Pick one. There are many different languages over there. Which one did your ancestors speak? Oh, I know. It just don't matter. Objective. A corpse don't care either. It's dead, and the dust particles is just flying to the four corners. It's dead. Of relating to or functioning as an adjective clause, not standing by itself, dependent, requiring or employing, because when they called you a thing, an objective, this is what it was calling us, whether we want to receive it or not. Because they said that we were 3/5 of a human. That means that the animals were more, had more dominion than we did. Even the property is protected more than the thing is, because the thing is just something. Requiring or employing a moderate. Adjective dies. Procedural, adjective law. Adjective adverbs. All right. Now let's go to a thing. A thing.
Thing.
Here is the meaning of a thing. Thing is a noun. Synonyms of thing. An object, an object. See, objective pronoun. Objective. Thing, noun.
thing,
An object. An object or entity not precisely designated or capable of being designated. An object or entity not precisely designated or capable of being designated. Use this thing. An animated object. An animated object. Distinguish from a living being. Distinguish from a living being. A separate and distinct individual quality. A separate and distinct individual quality, fact, idea, or usually entity. The concrete entity as distinguished from its appearance. A spatial entity, not a living thing in sight. Remember the movie Thing that came out when we was growing up? A matter of concern, affair, thing, many things to do. Thing, plural, means has plural meaning. State of affairs is a thing. In general or within a specific implied sphere. Thing or improving a particular state of affairs, situation. Look at this thing in another way. Event, circumstance. All right, I think that does it for thing and that right there. A thing is an item. All right, so now when you get to thing, now you get to item. All right, it is a noun. A distinct part in enumeration, account of series, article, an object. See how it connects to thing and how it connects to objective of attention, concern. The thing that cannot own property because it was considered property, which is a thing, concern, or interest, a separate piece of news or information. A couple in a romantic or relationship. Warning, hint. Item. Alright. Archaic. Compute, reckon. Archaic, to set down the particular details of. All right. Now, what is a person?
person,
Human being, which means Homo sapien. Hairless ape. That's what it means. Why is this popping up on my screen? A hairless ape. All right. Okay. Sometimes used in combination, especially by those who prefer to avoid man and compounds application to both sexes. Chairperson, spokesman. Look, sometimes used in combination specifically by those. See, now it's not talking about things anymore. Now it's not talking about a it anymore, who prefers to avoid man and compounds application to both sexes. Chairperson. Now look, check this out now. Spokesperson, a character or part in or as if in a play. Guess, one of three modes of being in a, I don't want to say that, God, as understood by Christians. The Unitarian personality of Christos that unites the divine and the Homo sapien creatures, which means hairless ape, or bodily appearance, the body of a Homo sapien being. That's Darwin theory. Hope you know human being come from Darwin theory. Also, the body and clothing. Unlawful search of a person, but you can search a thing because it's just a thing. The personality of a Homo sapien being self. You see a Homo sapien, and if you weren't counted as a Homo sapien, a hairless ape, but you were still called an ape, then that means they were saying you were 3/5 of a human. They didn't enslave the chimpanzee. They enslaved Negroes. One such as a human being, a partnership or corporation that is recognized by law, as the subject of rights and duties. Colors, referring of segments of discourse to the speaker. Now let's look this up. White is objective as well. Whiter, whitest. This is why I say so-called white people. Having the color, look at this. Having the color of new snow or milk. Of the color of white. White socks, white rabbit, light or pale in color. White hair, white wine, pale in color. White hair, white wine, lips white with fear. Free from color, clear, transparent. Say they transparent. What is another meaning of transparent, family? Let's go. They got something positive in there, so we're going to look into that. Lustrous, pale gray, silver, white alloy wheels, made of silver, each ball containing, or less commonly white, or of relating to any of the various population groups considered as having light pigmentation of the skin. Note the meaning of white as it relates to the population groups has historically been fluid, with people of particular ancestries being excluded for a time, and still is, from being white before being included, and vice versa. The category has also often functioned as a grouping into which people who are not designated as belonging in some other category are placed. Specifically, parameters are, however, sometimes set in the U.S. 2020 census, which stipulates that the category of white includes all individuals who identify with one or more nationalities or ethnic groups originating in Europe, in the Middle East, or North Africa. I thought they said North Africa don't exist. Or less commonly white, or relating to white people or their culture. Books from canon white literature, marked by upright fairness, that mighty white of you. That's mighty white of you. This use of white is sometimes used ironically. Free from spot or blemish, such as free from moral impurity, innocent, the pure white heart of the devout, marked by the wearing of white by The woman as a symbol of purity. A white wedding. What is a black wedding then? Because the opposite of this is only one good. So the opposite of good is evil, right? So the opposite of white, unmarked by writing or printing, which means unspotted from black ink and from colorful inks. A writer trying to will the white space on the page away. Write something here in white and tell me what you see. A white lie. What is a white lie? That's a good lie? What is angel cake? What's angel food cake? What color is that? What color is the devil cake? White magic. Is that good magic? Are you a good witch if you do white magic? Or is both of them wicked? Archaic. Favorable. Fortunate. One of the white days of his life. Walter Scott. Okay, I think that'll do enough for that. Let me exit that, cause alright. So now let's go to black. Let me go to, if you say that black is your daddy, then here go another one of your fathers right here. Crayola founders Edwin Binney left and Charles Smith right. So Crayola founders Edwin Binney on the left, right there, and then Charles Smith on the right. These is your ditties if you say that you is a Negro. And if you say that you is white, then Blumenbach is your daddy. Your spiritual daddy. That's your daddy. But if you say that you come from these people that's inside of this Bible right here, then these people right here, let me go to Genesis. Go to Genesis chapter 10. If you say I'm not white and I'm not black, but I'm from the table of nations, then these are you saying who your daddies is. Nach is your father. And then Nach had 3 sons. Sham, Ham, Wayapath. Sham, Ham, Wayapath. Sham means identity, legacy, name. Ham means hot. Yapath, Yapath means he beautiful. You beautiful. And unto them, and they all came from Nach. They all came from Nach. So they looked like each other. They was twins. Well, not twins, so to say, but they all had the same complexion. Somewhere down the line, something happened with Yapath and some of Ham and some of Sham. But I don't want to get into that tonight, but I want to just show you. And unto them were sons born after the flood. These sons is where everybody come from. And everybody has a house that they come from. When you're reading inside the Bible, now, what did Yahweh say about the sons? Did he say, now look at this. And all the days of Nach were 950 years, and he died. So, I'm going to let this whole chapter play, and you tell me if in any one of these chapters, they say it just don't matter about who they is as a person. Let's look in here and see. And all of these sons of Nach had land inheritance and their fathers left their sons inheritance, because it's an abomination for a father not to leave his son and his daughters an inheritance. Listen.
Genesis 10. Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And unto them were sons born after the flood. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, and Magog, and Madai, and Javan, and Tubal, and Meshech, and Taras. And the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, and Riphath, and Togarmah. And the sons of Javan, Elisha, and Tarshish, Kittim, and Dodanim. But these were the isles of the Gentiles divided in their lands, every one after his tongue, after their families, in their nations. And the sons of Ham, Cush, and Mizraim, and Phut, and Canaan. And the sons of Cush, Seba, and Havilah, and Sabta, and Ramah, and Sabteka. And the sons of Ramah, Sheba, and Dedan. And Cush begat Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one in the earth. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. Wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod the mighty hunter before the Lord. And the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, and Erech, and Akkad, and Calneh in the land of Shinar. Out of that land went forth Ashur, and builded Nineveh, and the city Rehoboth, and Calah. And Rezin between Nineveh and Calah, the same is a great city. And Mizraim begat Ludim, and Anamim, and Lehabim, and Naphtuhim, and Pathrozim, and Casluhim, out of whom came Philistim, and Caphtorim. And Canaan begat Sidon his firstborn, and Heth, and the Jebusite, and the Amorite, and the Girgashite, and the Hivite, and the Archite, and the Sinite, and the Arvadite, and the Zemarite, and the Hamathite. And afterward were the families of the Canaanites spread abroad. And the border of the Canaanites was from Sidon, as thou comest to Gerar, unto Gaza, as thou goest unto Sodom and Gomorrah, and Admah, and Zeboim, even unto Lasha. These are the sons of Ham, after their families, after their tongues, in their countries, and in their nations. Unto Shem also, the father of all the children of Eber, the brother of Japheth, the elder, even to him were children born, the children of Shem, Elam, and Ashur, and Arphaxad, and Lud, and Aram. And the children of Aram, Uz, and Hul, and Gether, and Mash. And Arphaxad begat Salah, and Salah begat Eber. And unto Eber were born two sons. The name of one was Peleg, for in his days was the earth divided, and his brother's name was Joktan. And Joktan begat Almadad, and Shalef, and Hazarmaveth, and Jerah, and Hadaram, and Uzal, and Diklah, and Obal, and Abimael, and Sheba, and Ophir, and Havilah, and Jobab. All these were the sons of Joktan. And their dwelling was from Mesha, as thou goest unto Sephar, a mount of the east. These are the sons of Shem, after their families, after their tongues, in their lands, after their nations. These are the families of the sons of Noah, after their generations, in their nations, and by these were the nations divided in the earth after the flood. Genesis 11. And the whole earth was of one language, and of one speech. And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another, Go to, let us make brick, and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. And they said, Go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven. And let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower, which the children of men builded. And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language, and this they begin to do? And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. Go to, let us go down, and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech.
Now we see here that Elohim is getting ready to confound the languages of the people. All right. They build them up a tower. They set them up a samak out there with their name so that they can live there as one people. And they wanted Nimrod, the Cushite, from the seed of Ham, which means hot, to be their ruler. All right. And he was a mighty one in the earth at that time, very renowned. And so now we see that Elohim said that he's going to do something about them making a samak for their name so that they can always be one people in one place. Now this may sound wonderful, but look at what Elohim did, because he had a desire, he had a plan for the seed of Nach, who is the seed of Adam, the father of Shaph. Listen to this, Mashbaka.
So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. Therefore is the name of it called Babel, because the Lord did there confound the language of all the earth, and from thence did the Lord scatter them abroad upon the face of all the earth.
So we see here that Elohim scattered them, but they was not dead, because they had their names. Whatever language one spoke, that's where they went. So all of the descendants of, all the descendants, let me stop this and go back. All the descendants of Japheth and his sons, Gomer and Magog and Madai and Yawan, all their descendants, all the sons of Japheth, Gomer, Magog, Madai, Yawan, and Tubal, and Meshech, and Teras, the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, which means German, Rapath, and Togarmah, and the sons of Yawan, which is the father of the Greeks, Elisha, and Tarshish, Katayam, which is the Romans, the Italians, and Dodanium. By these were the isles of the Gawayan, which means the Gentiles, the nations, divided in their lands. And that word there for lands means kingdoms. Everyone after his Lashawan, because they had many different languages, Lashawan, which means tongue. You use your tongue to speak. After their families, and they understood one another's tongue, of wherever they were shipped, wherever they fled to by the will of Elohim. After their families, after their mashpachah, in their gawayan. All right. And Israeli, they say, and they goyim. And the sons wa Habanai, Ham, Kawash, that's Ham, that's Kawash, is what we call the Ethiopians today, and Masrim, and Phut, and Canaan. See, Canaan is the son of Ham, not the father of Ham. And the sons of Kawash, Seba, and Havila, and Sabteka, and Sabta, and Ra'amah, and Sabteka. And the sons of Ra'amah, Sheba, and Dedan. And Kawash begot Nimrod, a son of Ham, the father of the dark races, not the Negro, but the Cushites, the Egyptians, Phut and Canaan, The sons of Kawash, Seba and Havilah and Sabteka and Raamah and Sabteka. The sons of Raamah, Sheba and Dedan. Sabta and Sabteka. I got them two mixed up. All right. He was a mighty hunter before Yahweh. Now, let's go down here. This right here is Abraham's uncle side. This is Abraham's uncle side. Watch this. Unto Shem, also the father of all Bani Eve or Abar, or some say Ivri, the brother of Japheth. The brother of Japheth, not the religion of Japheth, but the brother of Japheth, not the father of Japheth, but the brother of Japheth, the elder. So Masha must have seen something about Shem's brother Japheth for him to put the Bani Abar, the brother of Japheth, the elder. Even to him were children born. So unto Abar were children born, not unto Japheth through Abar, because Japheth is the brother of Abar. I mean, the uncle of Abar, but the brother of Shem. Shem is not a monkey. Identity is not a monkey. You got your ID card? That's what Shem mean. You check your credit score? That's what Shem mean. Shem, the elder, even to him were Bani born. They was not born out of religion. Bani born. Habanai called Shem, the children of Shem, Alam and Ashar and Arphaxad and Lud and Aram. The children of Aram, Uz and Hul and Getha and Mash. And Arphaxad begot Salah, and Salah begot Abar. Salah begot Abar, and unto Abar were born to two sons. See, unto Abar had two sons. One is where Abraham would descend from, and let me show you the one where the other sons of Abar. Let's see. The Shem of one was Peleg, for in his days was the earth divided. So I reckon it's in his days is when the continents, the tectonic plates split. Where you get the continent of America and them islands out there. And his brother's name was Yoktan. You see that? And Yoktan begot Almadad, Shalap, and Hazaramaveth, and Jerah, and Hadaram, and Uzal, and Dikla. See, Yoktan is not the father of Abraham. And Hadaram, and Uzal, and Dikla, and Obal, and Abimelech, and Sheba, and Ophir, and Havilah, and Jobab. All these were the sons of Yoktan. Let me go up so I can show you something. And Yoktan begot Almadad and Shalef and Hazaram-baveth and Yarah and Hadaram and Uzal and Dikla and Obal and Abimelech and Sheba and Ophir. Ophir means Gold Coast. Ophir is what they used to call the place of Africa. Ophir is where the word Africa comes from. Ophir is not a son of Ham. Africa is not a son of Ham, but a son of Sham. At Havilah and Yobab, and all these were the sons of Yoktan. All right. And their dwelling, they had a dwelling place, was from Mishah, and I don't know if that's Masha, as they goeth unto Safar, which means book, a mount of the east. That's where the sun rises at, in the east. These are the sons of Sham. So where is Yobab and them at now? If it just don't matter, then it just don't matter where they at then. The sons of Sham, after their families and after their tongues, in their lands, after their nations. Where is Crayola on here? I don't see Crayola nowhere. Let's see. Let me check one more time. Now, these are the generations of the son of Nach. Did it say Crayola? 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 Did it say ape, chimp, and hairless ape? Or did it say Sham, Ham, and Yapath? Alahayim made Adam in his image and in his likeness. So if Alahayim created the first Adam in his image and likeness, and if they say that the first Adam was a chimp or an ape or some amoeba or a germ, then what are they calling Alahayim? A chimp, an ape. Then we'll not like at the planet of the apes that the ape will come back to say the ape. Because if he is the creator of Adam, who was an ape, then what did he come for? The oldest apes? To save the oldest apes? Because they are his bloodline, and according to the Gullah law, that you have to, in order to redeem, you have to be of that person's nearest of kin. So it got to be the nearest of kin of the monkey to deliver the monkey. So since they say that Negroes is not of the human race, but they of the ape, then I guess they don't have no salvation if they really don't have a creator. But Blumenbach and Darwin is the creators then. Then when is they coming back? They still be in their grave sleeping in the dust, waiting on the day of wrath. So we see that's a problem right there, don't we? Now, this is the other side of Sham. Peleg. Okay? And Abar lived 34 years and begot Peleg with his wife, not with religion. It didn't say, and Abar lived 34 years and found a new religion and created a theology named Peleg. No, they went inside of their tent, and the woman and the man came together, and 9 months later, if the conception went all the way through, if it wasn't no early birth or nothing, then 9 months passed, and the baby came out of the baton, out of the womb of Abar's wife, and she begot unto him Peleg. And Abar lived after he begot Peleg 430 years. See, Abar and his wife inside of their tent yada one another. And the part of the woman, look at this. Kwaba. Kwa, which means Kwadash, set apart. Ba means in. Ba, in house. Ba, Kwaba. Ha, horizon. So the only place that that's supposed to be seen is in the house. Now, people say you shouldn't use the letters like that, but that's what makes sense to me. So Kwaba means in the house. So Abar and his wife inside of their tent came together and yada one another. And she conceived a child in her womb, in her baton. And 9 months later, according to how babies are formed and born, she begot unto Abar a son, and according to custom, Abar peradventure named him Peleg. Sometimes the woman would name the son. But Abar lived 400, and it didn't say who named, but his name is Peleg, and it must have been a tradition that passed down. And Abar lived after he begot Peleg 430 years, and begot sons and daughters, because you can't go inside of a tent and make babies without an Asha, without a female. So the Ayash and Asha, the sons and daughters of Abar, after he lived 30 years, 430 years, and begot sons and daughters. And Peleg lived 30 years when he was 30 years old, 30 years more, I believe, and begot Rau. So he didn't just say, I imagine inside of my heart, inside of my theology, I'm going to bear some figment of my imagination named Rau. He went inside of his tent with his woman, Peleg, when he got 30 years old, went inside of his tent with his old lady, his wife, and they begot a son, which is his inheritance, and he left him an inheritance and begot Rau. Peleg lived 30 years and begot Rau with his old lady, not by himself. And Peleg lived after he begot Rau 209 years and begot sons and daughters, because it take a Ayash wa Asha to make babies, not a religion. Religion can create a confusion, as we have seen in these last days with the curse of Ham doctrine. And Rau lived 230 years and begot Saru. Now, some say, well, Yah is love, it just don't matter. What if I'm right? What if you wrong? Grace is grace. Well, let me ask you this. What if Messiah is right and he say, let not anybody call my words Corbin? Let no one call my words Corbin. It is impossible for Yah to lie. A liar will not tarry in his sight, because if he tarry in his sight, his works will be reproved and he'll repent. Repent means change his mind. Stop doing that. I think that's all for tonight. Shalom, Valentina. There go my wife, y'all. Valentina Kennedy. Royal Majesty. But family, that's all I want to do. And I dropped the link. If anybody want to come and give any closing word, not trying to offend nobody, just trying to tell the truth. All right, there we go. So Val, I give you the opportunity to come up if you would like. Mrs. Angel Hatton, Malaka, if y'all want to come up, now's the time. So I'm going to turn up the instrumental and wait for a little bit. And after that, then I'll go Mashpaka. Well, it was a blessing to be before you tonight. As one of the sisters say, if I said anything that made you mad, you'll forgive me in the morning. And that's our sister. Give her flowers. I'll share her video under this after I'm done. I want to say thank y'all again for coming and showing love. Shalom, Mashpaka. Please don't forget to like and share.
Woe unto you false leaders, you false teachers inside of the Christian church, who ignore the tears of your people, who see your people crying in the street and begging for liberty and freedom, in a place where they gotta hate each other in order to love this nation. Whoa, both tears, time heals all wounds, all things get better if you just hold on. They say real men don't cry, but that's hard to do when you're looking at your homeboys die. The block on fire and the booth scraps miss. Reading out the Bible, but some preachers won't listen. If I love my family, then I hate oppressive laws. So many companies making money just when you fall down. Yes, for reparations, then they offered us a crack pack. Now can you tell me what that mean? 98 crime bill passed. Tell me if I'm crazy if I look at the sea on the dash. I got a phobia of ships, that's a blast from the past. Praying to the Father, how long will it last? Old pressure make a wise man mad. So tell me why my life is like a 3-meter dash. Ooh, I'ma tell, Hapalaya, ooh, I'ma tell, Hashamaya, ooh, I'ma tell, Hapalaya, ooh, I'ma tell, Hashamaya, I was born a young captive in a place called Polk County, Florida, man. Everywhere we live is a block. Because of sins of our fathers, we political prisoners, and I'm begging y'all to make it stop. Spiritual warfare with an outside manifestation, and we curse, debate about a blessing. We done lost our mind with our fists to the sky and screaming, God, why? Swiping, no swiping. If the law done away, then we stuck in each other forever, no redemption. But Messiah said, I ain't come to do away with the law or the prophets, but fulfill them. Yeshua said that we all sin and we all come short of the glory of Yahweh. Prophesied to be gullah, sent to the four corners of the nations in horror. We've been made and do it for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Barakah Tawah, Yasharah, wake up, return back to the covenant of your father. Ooh, I'ma tell, Hapalaya, ooh, I'ma tell, Hashamaya, ooh, I'ma tell, Hapalaya, ooh, I'ma tell, Hashamaya,